Good morning, or good afternoon, or good day to everyone watching. This is Mr. Lang, the chocolate teacher, and we're here to start to set up our PowerPoint museums. So what we're going to be doing is designing rooms and three-dimensional spaces on PowerPoint slides. So the very first thing you need to find is PowerPoint. So orange P at the bottom of your screen. If you don't have the orange P, all you need to do is go to your spotlight up in the right hand corner up here, the spotlight function, click spotlight, and then type in POW and it'll pop up, and just hit the return key. So I'm going to open PowerPoint. And if you have not started on one as of yet, or this comes up, you want to default to the white background. You can change the backgrounds later on, but for right now, we'll start with the white background. Hit the choose button, and you'll have a slide like this. And normally we would go and change this up, but we're going to leave it just like it is. And what we're going to do is look over here on the left-hand side, and you'll find the new slide option. Click the arrow next to new slide. It's going to pop up that way, and we want to go to blank. So click the blank option, and you'll have the blank sheet of paper just like this. All right, it's a lot of different things to do in PowerPoint. We're going to be very minimal at this point, and we'll add different things as we continue. So what we want to start off with is the shapes menu that's here. Your shape menu may be different, but most of the computers will have this little insert that says shape. If you cannot find that, you go to the top. You can hit insert, and then shape is down here. So there's two ways, or more than two ways actually, but these are two ways you can get to the shape menu. It's either going to be in this small insert menu here, or go to insert and then shape. So the first shape that we're going to deal with is a rectangle, and we're going to go right to rectangle since the first one. All we need to do is click it, and you'll have this little plus sign that's here. What we're going to do is we're going to just build a rectangle, and we have our rectangle there. What you'll notice is that there are bubbles around the rectangle, and there's a green handle at the top. The green handle lets us move that rectangle all the way around. If you also notice, there's 4 arrows in the middle. When I put my cursor in the middle, that means I can move that where I need to move it. All right, so we have a rectangle. If you notice, I made it kind of long, but it's not so long that it's touching the top and not so long that it's touching the bottom at this point. I'll give you an opportunity to kind of play around with that concept as you figure out exactly what we're doing. But for right now, make it about that size. And what we want to do is copy this shape so it's the exact same size on this side as it is on the other side. So to copy, we're going to use hotkeys on our computer. You're going to hold down the command button rather, which is right next to your space bar. If you hold down command and then you make sure that you've already clicked on the shape and the C button. So command C together one time. You don't need to continue to hold down the command key. And then command V. Command C, then command V. Command C copies and command V pastes. You'll have 2. And what you'll notice is that those blue lines that are there will show you exactly where to guide it. And we want to have that on the opposite side, more or less the same distance away from the margin. Right? It doesn't have to be perfect. We can make it perfect later on. All right, so we have those 2 things there. And what we're going to do now is we're going to go back to our shape menu, and we're going to go to basic shapes now. And what we want is the trapezoid, and it's the first one on the second row there. If you put your cursor on top of it, it'll say trapezoid. So we want trapezoid. We'll click there. And again, we're going to click and drag. It's going to make a trapezoid for us. All right, we're going to need the green handle this time. We're going to click on the green handle, and we're going to drag it to the right until it's 90 degrees like that. And we're going to take that and attach it. Attach the long side to the long side of the rectangle that's facing the middle. Once we have that, the bottom here, the square bubble here, we're going to drag that down. And once we have that dragged down, all right, we have what looks like a 3-dimensional wallish type thing. We're now going to make some adjustments. I'm going to pull that in a little bit because I don't want that depth to be that big. And once we do that, we have a pretty good looking wall there. All right. So what we need to do is copy that again. We're going to click on the shape first. Command C copies. Command V paste. And now I have two of them. I'm going to take the handle and turn it on the opposite direction this time. So that's 270 degrees. And I'm going to attach that there as well. All right. So I have my two walls set up. What I'm going to add now is just a door. So I'm going to go back to my shapes here. Rectangle, and go back to that first rectangle. And what I'm going to do is something kind of interesting. I want sliding doors for my room here. So I'm going to create sliding doors. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click and go about half the space here and go down. That looks pretty good. So I'm going to click there and I'm going to copy that again and paste because I want the same thing on the other side. All right, you notice I have a little gap there. So what I'm going to do is move that over just a little. And one side is long on the other side, but it doesn't matter at this point. So I have some basic walls there now. All right. What I'm also going to do is go back to shapes because I want a ceiling and a floor. So I'm going to hit the rectangle again. Start here in the top left-hand corner, drag down to about halfway and pull over. That's what we do that. We have a big rectangle on top and I'm going to click Command C, Command V, copy, and I'm going to put that one in the bottom as well. So I have this that covers up my slide. So what are we going to do? I'm going to click the top one first, and what you will notice up in the top left-hand corner is that in purple is the Format menu. We click Format, and you'll see a paint bucket that says Fill. I'm not going to click that. I'm going to click the arrow beside it and click it and go down. And what I'm going to do is change the color. I'm just going to make the color kind of orangish. Do that. All right, so we have that orange color. And what you'll notice is that still it is highlighted. All right. And what we need to do is we need to arrange this. And there's a menu that's right here on the right-hand side that says Arrange. All right. However, yours might not have that. So there's another way. There's a hotkey combination that we can do. If you hold down the Control key, C-O-N-T-R-O-L, hold down the Control key and click on the shape that's highlighted, you'll get a menu that's like this. Arrange is here inside. And we want to send to back, the second option inside of the menu. And that goes all the way to the back there. I'm going to do the same for the bottom, but I want some wood floors in here. So we're going to do something different. I'm going to highlight, and I still have my Fill menu up. I'm going to hit the arrow and go down to Fill Effects. Click Fill Effects. And there's a lot of effects you can kind of play around with in here. But I'm going to go to Picture or Texture. And I'm going to go to Choose Texture and click. When I go to Choose Texture, I want some wood at the bottom. So I'm going to find some wood. Let's say some oak. I'm going to click, hit OK. All right, wonderful. I need to arrange this as well. So I'm going to hit Control and click. Go to Arrange, send to back as well. And now I have what looks like a ceiling or background there and a floor that's there. And what you'll notice is I also want to maybe change the arrangement of my shapes. So perhaps you don't see the background that's there. So I'm going to move those around. And what I want is I'm going to adjust these a little bit. And again, this is up to you how much you adjust it and what you make it look like. So wonderful. So now it looks like I have some sliding doors there, and I've got a ceiling-ish type thing. So perhaps I don't want to see this orange ceiling here because what I want to make it look like is there's a roof or something that's there. I'd go back to shapes, but you can use any shape that you want. I'm going to use a rectangle and go to the third rectangle shape. All right, the snip same size rectangle. I'm going to click there and I'm going to build that out real quick. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip that so it goes to 180 degrees. So it's like that. And I'm also going to build that out. All right, so I have that built out. So perhaps what I want to do, 100 degrees, is I want to move that up a little bit. And a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. Yep, just there. And again, I'm going to arrange, send to back. Oop, my bad. Didn't want to send it back. Send it back. And that's what will happen. If you make a mistake, hit the undo button. I want to send it backwards, not send to back. And that will send it a little bit backwards. You're going to have to be a little bit. I'm going to reorder the overlapping objects as well. So what you can do is just reorder the objects that overlap. And what you're going to do is get a key here, and you'll see what's overlapping. And I want that to go right above my orange page there. That should work. And I'm going to hit OK. And now that goes right where I want it to go.